All right, I think we are good to go now. So I'm gonna be working on coming up with some ideas for just effects to apply to like text and logos and stuff like that. All right, so let's start with maybe some displacement or something like that. All right, we'll increase that detail and bring the scale down. Okay, that's kind of intense. Way too fast. Too slow. Okay. It's a bit of an effect, but we need to bring the strength way down. Oh, what the heck? Point. I haven't had any issues yet with 17. Okay. So we don't need to change the offset, we just need to change this value. So 0.01. I guess I could do this the same, right? What I'm doing here is definitely doesn't take advantage of anything in 17, so. Maybe some less. Are we actually deforming? We sure are. Okay. Audio recording in 17? I didn't know that they changed anything from 16 to 17 outside of offering more like channels or tracks, audio tracks. I don't understand that question. Yeah, I'm not sure I understand that question. Okay, so so that's one way. What can I do to make this Thank you. I feel like that would just be like an effect in its own. All right, so we'll do that, and then, hold on 1 second, I need to pull something up. I actually don't know where it is, but here we are. It's gonna open. Uh-oh. There we are. All right, I need some textures. I haven't used this in a while. Can you make an example of 3-layer? You would just, so this is a 2D image, right? So you would need to figure out how you want to put it into 3D. You could use it as like a texture and you put it on something, or you could make a 3D text like this, right? You could make text and make it 3D. Because this is 2D, I would use it as a texture. So how would I use this in 3D, even though it's a 2D texture? What you would do, there's a couple different things you could use, but this is typically what you would use. This is an image plane, right? So it's going to be a flat plane in 3D space, and you're going to use whatever you made in 2D and put it on as a texture. So you would just simply bring this over, and then we could grab a camera and a renderer, right? So the camera is what would orbit, and then we have a renderer to dictate all of the parameters and stuff. Obviously you can't see anything here, so we would look at the 3D. So there it is in 3D space, and that'll pull back the camera so we can actually see it in the camera's view. So that's how I would do that. As far as orbiting, probably the easiest way to do something like that would be to use a target. So you could use this as the target, and what it will do is you move the camera wherever you want, and you don't have to worry about rotation of the camera. So you could simply just move this, and as you can see, it's automatically rotating because it maintains wherever your target is. So if you move your target around, it moves the camera around, right? So that's how you would do that, and then you would just have to go all the way around. Does that make sense? And then for the renderer, there's a ton of different settings you can do here. But then you can do stuff so you have like a depth of field. So like, let's say I zoom this in a little bit so that we have it like on an angle. So obviously the J is closer to the camera than the V. So I could switch this up to OpenGL renderer and then turn on some effects. And currently you can't see anything. So let me actually turn that off, and I'll come back into my camera. And then in my controls, I can go to see different, this is just to see stuff in the viewer, right? What we want to turn on is this focus plane. So that's where the camera is currently focusing on. Because we don't have no depth of field, everything looks sharp and in focus. So if that's where our image plane is, what we can do is build up the subdivision so we can see like when it intersects. And we can move this image plane back so that it's right on that element, wherever you want it to be focused on. So right now you can see where it's currently focused on, right? So it's like at the A. We'll actually move this a little bit further to the Y. So that's currently where the focus is, right? Now we can turn on those effects again. And we can see that the Y is sort of in focus. We want to kind of probably drop this down a little bit. And now we have the Y in focus, and the further it goes out, the blurrier it gets, and the closer it gets out of focus, you know, the blurrier it gets there as well. So that's kind of how you would do that. I think that kind of concludes my mini tutorial on how to do that. All right, so let's get out of this. I don't need any of this stuff. All right, so back to what we were doing before. Oh yeah, we were playing in here. Okay, we don't want those, turn those off. We don't want these or these or these. I think this is all we want, just boxes. Okay. Let's generate a different one. All right, I have to save this quick, so give me 1 second. Save height. And I don't even have a folder set up for this project yet, so give me 1 second. I'm gonna create a folder quick. But if anyone else has questions, just shoot them in the comments, and then as I'm working on this, I can definitely help out. All right, so effects. All right, so now that we added that, now I have to open up this as well. So I'm currently just opening up this so I can I need to change the size of these, because when the stuff that comes out of JS is like really big, and I don't need textures that big. All right, so where did I just save that to? I hate when you have too many freaking folders and files and everything else. Here. Okay. So now we'll go export and see how big this is. We don't need it that big. We can just like change this to 1000. And save. We're gonna go right back into the same folder and just put underscore 1000. Okay, so now that we have that, we can open this back up again, and we can bring this image in. Okay, so now I think I want to play around with maybe taking a transform and let's open this up to XY path. So now we have XY path, and we'll reset those. And then in XY path, we can go control, and we'll just name this, I don't know, a 1, or no, sure. And we will turn this into a slider. And what is this, controls? Yes. Wait, why'd it go to user? Did I not change that correctly? No, controls. Okay. All right, so there we are. Now for this, we will, actually, you know what? I don't even need that. Okay, we're gonna make another one. Let's try that again. Trying to make these too complicated. And we will switch this up to shake, and this one as well to a shake. All right, so this has to go from, let's not go that far. Let's have it go like 4.6. So this is the ratio. Now we have to remember X and Y, obviously 0.5 is in the middle for the X and the Y. And I don't want it to go that crazy, so we'll change, we'll just make these 2s right now. And let's see how much this shakes around. Okay. Now we're only shaking in one direction. Oh, because we have, I know exactly why. We need to change the seed up, and let's change this to like, there we are. Oh, look at that craziness going on. Okay. So now that we have that, we can bring this in, and we'll view this. Ooh. So before we do that, actually we can do this with a, what can we do this with? Genre for music. Let's see here. Mood. All right. So oh shit, actually, you know what? This has to do nothing. Auto resolution? What does that do? Okay, that actually is perfectly fine, I think. Actually, no, that's not what I want to do. Let's put this on top of here and then have this mirror. All right. All I'm trying to do is, I thought channel blurring would be the best option for this, but this is all I'm attempting to do. Like that. Is there a better way of doing that? Okay, now they're two different elements. All right, that just needs to be a lot more pieces. Chromatic Aberration? I don't know. Maybe it's a, I don't know. Because I feel like, I'm pretty sure everything is in the free version. It just, like a pop-up will come up if it's not there. Actually, hold on, there was like a lot of things in there. There's removal as well. Oh, that's not what you were looking for. There's only removal. That's not even what you were looking for. Oh, then they're both going. Oh, that's not really what I want. I don't know what the best way to get chunks to constantly be moving. Speed? Wait, that's not what I want. Wait a second. Fed this in. What would this do? Source time. Alright, so if I went what the hell am I listening to? Is wind? Okay, it's not going to work either. Okay. Alright, that would be correct. So, alright, so that's kind of good. But, alright, I want that timeline to not be on the whole video though, because that would look horrible. Be like stop motion at that point. Hello. the hell am I listening to? Okay, so maybe not X and Y. And for this, if I just copy that and put that in here. Okay, that's not changing anything. Why is that not changing anything? Because it's the same timing, that's why, I think. All right. Instead of that, let's do turb. Value? Can you not set like endpoints? Strength? No, wait, maybe strength is... Okay, no, wobble, speed. Guess I have to do shake. Oh, I can do an X and Y on a shake, so I don't even have to have XY path. I could just go and shake. Interesting. What? Why doesn't it come down to here? Okay, maybe I need to like make this bigger. So just little chunks. All right. So if I did that, and then just had this come over. Okay, we're kind of getting a glitchish thing going here. What is this outline going on here, though? All right, what am I actually doing here? Because this is where I'm getting that outline, right? Is that really what you do? I feel like that's not correct. That's definitely not correct. Would you consider Resolve endgame, or should someone... I don't plan to upgrade to Premiere. I used to use Premiere, but yeah. I mean, what is endgame? Endgame, I mean, if you're going looking for like studio work or you're working with a network, endgame's whatever they tell you that you're going to use. All editors really work the same, to be completely honest with you. They have like very little things, but wherever you're going to end up working, that's whatever they use. I mean, a lot of like TV uses Avid, so. But if you're making stuff for like something independent, like music videos or YouTube, or you're doing something on your own that's going to go to like Netflix or something like that, it doesn't matter what program you use. Whatever works for you. If you're, depending on what camera you're using too, because if you're using like a camera that shoots in ProRes RAW, well, you only have one option there. If you're using Blackmagic, there are options, but do you want to use a plugin versus a native support it? So, and sometimes you don't even have the, you don't even get to choose what camera is used if you're working for someone else. So, all right, there's probably something very simple to get rid of that, but I can't really think of it right now. There is something with invert and like, I'm gonna move on for now. Me personally, I did the, I started with, I mean, long time ago with just editing like personal videos. I used to skateboard a long time ago, so back then we didn't really have the luxury of all the different options that there are today for editors. Back then, a cousin of mine had a Sony computer and it came pre-installed with Vegas, so we just used that. It was the only edit. We didn't know that there were other editors that we could easily get, so that was the one that we used. And then I did like photography for a little bit, and then I moved into doing video, like real estate sort of stuff. And then it went from there to making like promotional content for like commercials that go on like TV for like local places, not anything big, but just local places. And then it went from there to, I edited a show that was on Fox, a paranormal show. And now I just do YouTube videos and all sorts of stuff. Yeah, the good old days of Sony Vegas. Glad those days are over. That's all I can say about that. Oh, I'm holding on S. I don't even know which one is which. All right, so we'll do that. So I know that this is the minimum. So this is going to be 0.35, 0.4 random. And then this is going to be 0.67. All right. Now why aren't we going up and down? Because I need to do one in here as well. Wait, is this what I just did? I'm so very confused. All right. So then we'll go into shake on here. This is getting very complicated very quickly, but 45.55. All right. So we have that. All right, why is this like half on and half off? This shouldn't be like that. That's not the right thing either. So it's this. I see. There we are. Wait, why don't I see this now? Here we are. Yep. Like I said, at the end of the day, unless you're working with other people that are editing or working in the video, people don't care what software you're using. Some people might, because they think they know what they're talking about. Like a customer will be like, oh, you know, you can only edit good videos in this. And it's like, give someone enough time, they could use like Movie Maker from like 2006. Alright, I just like completely messed up whatever I was just working on, and I don't know what I did. Alright, there we go. Coming out of here. Why am I getting outlines? I feel like there is definitely a reason for this, but I can't think of what it is off the top of my head. And I feel like it's the same thing that you do when you have, when you do like the edges on green screen. What do you mean by talking animation? Like you want like a head that talks, or like text that comes out while you're talking? Okay, so so now that like I have all of this, I feel like that's exactly what I want, but I don't want it to update this often. Like this is pretty much how I'd want it, like what I was using before. But I can't do it this way because if someone uses like something that's animated, then it won't look right. This isn't what I want. Why do I keep coming in here? Is this what I want? Yeah, that. So what I have, like math, floor, time, times 2, divided by 2, some shit like that. Is that how I did that before? Time divided by 2? I don't know what the heck I just did. Wait. Oh, well, you know, it'd probably work if you're using the correct brackets. Alright. Aha, that's what I gotta do. There we are. So it's not like updating as constant. I feel like you can just increase this by like more. And get it to update less frequently. Yep, so now I could just something like that. All right. Make a picture talk. Let me grab a picture of a person. I'll give you a 10-second tutorial on making a mouth talk. I need to find someone's mouth though. That's like kind of open or shows teeth or something. Face. All right, we'll go save. And we will just put this on the desktop. There, in here. All right. Talking mouth. You ready for this? It's going to be short. There's our person. All right. Now let's get him to be in a 16:9 window. And we will make him a little bit bigger. So there's our guy. He's going to talk. Okay. So you're watching this? So you grab this. You connect that up. And then you can grab this. And you connect this into here. And then you grab the portion of the mouth. Are you ready for this? Like that. Just go like, just like that. And now you can take this and you can get him. Oh, fuck. Hold on. This is what we'll do. Create another one of these. Go like that. This one here, we need to isolate this. Then go like that. And then I'm making this a mess, aren't I? So there we are. Then you take this little control and then you get his mouth to move, but we need to make an empty space in there. So all you gotta do is just take this, drop that onto somewhere here. All right, I'm making a horrible quick tutorial. This isn't quick at all, and it's a lot of stuff, but there's our gap. So we add this in, and now we have back to the face. And then underneath, we need some mouth color. What color is the inside of his mouth? That color. We'll drop that on top. And we come back to our little mouth control. And now we have a talking mouth. I'm not entirely sure. Like, if you want to like morph the mouth, that's if you want to morph the mouth, then you're going to be doing a lot more work. But I've seen like little clips where they do that. Is there any way to use sound object size sound? Object? I don't know what that is. Is that a value? What did you put? I don't know what that is. Yeah, I don't know. Unless that's something new. I'm not entirely sure what that is. I'm doing all right. Just plugging away at some ideas that I would like to do, but obviously it's going to take a little bit of time to figure out all the methods that I want to do stuff. All right, so we're going to go like this and have that go to there because I'll never remember all of this stuff. And all right, so I'll put that up there, bring this down, and is there somewhere that lists all the possible expressions? There isn't like a one go-to resource for it. What I would recommend is, hold on a second, let me pull it up. So if you go to like the Lua site and look up like expressions and simple expressions, these are probably going to be like your go-tos for doing anything math related, right? And then there are a couple of very specific things for Fusion. You're asked for like something that's listed, and I don't have a resource, so I'm just kind of telling you. So you have this for like math, right? Because this will kind of explain how like math works. And then you can do, you have time, which is your frames. That's your time. And then for anything in a node, anything that you want to call or like get a value from, anytime you hover in the bottom left there where it says DaVinci Resolve 17, right above it, see how it says text1.line spacing clone? That is going to be, it's going to pull whatever that value is. So then you can use that. Are you sure that that place has all of it? Because if I'm not mistaken, the site that you're talking about is like super out of date Fusion stuff, like from a really, really old version of Fusion. All right, so what are some? I wish that. Now here's a question. Does anyone know where there would be a listed? I have a good idea of the things that are in Studio versus not in Studio, but does anyone have like, or know of anywhere that has a list of everything that is Studio specific? Because I would like that. I have a pretty good idea. Like I know that all the stuff that uses the Resolve neural network, like all that stuff is Studio only. It depends what you use After Effects for, but it can for most things. Like things that are only in the Studio version of DaVinci versus the free version of DaVinci Resolve. Because that's like one thing that I sometimes struggle when I'm like attempting to make things for like the site, because I want to make it like all inclusive for anyone that has either version, but that's like something that I'm not entirely sure on. I have a coffee here, but thank you. All right, so we're gonna come back into this and we're gonna grab a different, no, definitely not. A manual? You could just go right in here. So you come up to help, and then you go DaVinci Resolve manual. And it opened in one of my things here. So it'll open up, and there is 3,605 pages that you can read through and learn everything you want to know. It's a bit long. Okay. Where was I? Oh no, when I did that, I must have closed this. Oh, that sucks. Hold on a second. Am I only talking about the Fusion page? I'm just talking with anyone that wants to talk. I mean, I can talk about any of the other pages. Right now, I'm just working on the Fusion page. I'll give you a link to it if you want to take a look. It's a free app that you can make pretty cool textures with. Okay, I didn't need to go that long. Jeez. Alright, I'm going to save this one. And we'll use that. And then I got to resize it again. So you're welcome. There's a camera tracker in Fusion. You just have to have the studio version of DaVinci Resolve to use it. It's referred to as a 3D camera tracker. Wait a second. Oh. That's why. There we go. Okay, we're switching that up. Have a good one. I don't know. I just click and then I have it, and instead of connecting there, I right click and then you get your list of where you want to connect it. I don't know if that's connected the dots there. Fusion was initially made specifically for compositing. I personally just don't use it for compositing. Yeah, I'm gonna be out of here soon as well. I just need to come up with a couple of different ideas, but now that I'm like looking at this more, I think I want this to be sharp and not like rounded edges and things. But I might be able to use this as a way to actually, I do it something like that to use it like a cool texture. I don't know what kind of an animation to add to that, but I might be able to come up with something at some point. Whole idea here is the effects that I'm making, you would just be able to put on like simple, plain, normal text, and using the effect stack on the edit page. There's one thing that I learned about the effect stack on the edit page, which I wasn't a big fan of, is if you use the normal text, you can't actually add any of the effects on. Can't add the effects on there, but what we can do is we can add an adjustment layer, and then I can go in and I can add the effects onto that. So let's say, sure, this is a perfect example. So like this effect here, it like kind of, I don't know, makes things like stripey. I don't really know how to explain that, but I wanted to add like things like that onto text because it adds like a whole new texture, right? And then you would be able to like stack them. So what are these? And I can't wait to put thumbnails on all of these so that you can get a better representation of what they all are. I hate how they do like this whole name thing where like you can't read the names because they're, well, the names are kind of long. But I should be able to hover over and see like the name, but I can't, which is kind of lame. Okay, that doesn't really work very well in that, but I like using this like new effects stack, but oh shit, I delete the wrong one. Just start adding some on there. Yeah, that's not gonna work. But anyways, yeah, so that was like kind of like the idea. Anyways. You can bring the 3D models right in and you can use them. The only thing that kind of sucks is that is like, at least personally, depending on what you're doing, that's kind of like, I think, a last like resort, just because there aren't very many light and shadow tools, personally, I think, in Fusion that are easy compared to like a lot of other tools that are out there for, you know, a similar. Personally, I feel like they're a little lacking, and they're kind of, personally, I think they're kind of dated compared to the current technology that is out there and exists in free applications. Personal view. There'll probably be people that agree differently, but yeah. Like Fusion, or excuse me, After Effects, if you want good 3D stuff, it's like a whole nother, you have to get the thing that, what is that company? Video Copilot, the thing that they like have. So that's not like, you know, yeah. Anyways, I personally would use a different, if I was doing heavy 3D stuff, I would use something completely different. If you know, like the whole EV engine and all of that stuff, I would, yeah, exactly what you're talking about. But like, I personally would probably use Blender, because as far as I'm aware, there isn't much like real-time modern technology in Fusion when it comes to 3D environments. So oh, okay. Yeah, I feel like most of the 3D stuff in composite, and like, my personal opinion, most 3D stuff and composite stuff is like, if there is like a last minute touch that you have to add something in, you know, the tools are there to do some basic stuff, but outside of that, then you might have to do those, you know, that scene in a different tool. Okay, so I've been sitting here looking at the same thing, and I want something that is like sharper. So what does big data look like? Okay, I don't think that's what I want. Nope, that's the thing I was just using. That's not what I want either. Dot. Okay. So let's not do that or that or that. Let's just have these two, not these, because it's not random enough, and not that. Minimum brightness. We want them all to be same brightness. Scale, maybe a little bigger. Chance to draw, a lot. Maybe this a little smaller. Pattern, a lot. Okay, let's trim these back a little bit and save. Now, open this up. Where are our dots? Here we are. Ooh, they're drawing on each other. Is there a thing to stop that? Nope. All right. When you're zoom this far out, they all just look like dots. They don't even look like whatever. We will export this. What? Why did that? Oh, why did that try to save it same name? Export. I see. 1000. Why isn't it switching that? Oh, why is it not linked? Try it again. Did I accidentally unlink that? I must have. There we are. All right. So this was dots. Paste. All right, so now we have that, then I'll come over here and we'll drop that on. Okay, so let's take all of these dots . Nope, that in there. Then this onto here. And we will go like that. And like that. And then we can go animation curve, duration, sure. Maybe that's too fast. But you could take that and make that into, oh, I guess you would just change the color of this, huh? Or no, not that, the text. I think that's going way too fast. You're putting a lot of messages in chat. All my computer configuration is in the description. All right. What if you would then add like a below? Is that like, I mean, I can't really tell. Like, what? Oh, geez. I wonder if you did that and then like maybe a little bit of this on here. Okay, you can't tell what the heck it is going on there, so we won't do that. But what we can do with this is we can make the density more like that, but this speed is way too freaking fast. So we're not going to do all of this. Maybe we'll just, instead of that, we'll do a scale like to 2. Okay, the edges are too clean. Now how could I roughen the edges up? Isn't there like a... we could do this, but not have it animate it? Or something? Right? But obviously have this at like a 0.1. 0.1. And then have no speed. Okay, it's too clean still. So what do you do to not have it so clean? Can we use this texture somewhere, somehow? What does this do? Luminance values. So we could do like a curves adjustment here, right? Or something. Contrasts? What does that do to it? Why does that look like it's doing absolutely nothing? Luminance? Ha. That looks kind of cool. Did I just come up with a new effect here? I feel like I did. Alright, so I'll be ready to learn Fusion in like 10 years when I can finally afford a computer to run it, lol. I wish computer components right now weren't so crazy expensive. I would like to get new stuff, but graphics cards are like 3 times of what like the retail price are, which is like ridiculous. But I had a buddy of mine just tell me that if you buy a pre-built through Dell, I don't know how true this is, but he says if you buy a pre-built through Dell, Dell has a contract with NVIDIA and so that they are always stocked, and so they sell the graphics cards in their pre-builts for close to MSRP. So I was looking into that, but I kind of don't want a pre-built because I don't want to deal with their case and all of their proprietary stuff. I'm probably not going to be making any type of weed text effect. You can kind of just take things that I've made and implement those textures, but I won't be making anything specific like that. Yeah, I need to get some stuff in this room. I have like a bunch of like my equipment boxes and stuff, but they're not here. I have to like, it's like a 30-minute drive to go and get them, and like only half of them can fit in my vehicle. So I'll have to do like 2 runs at some point. Because I was just going to use that, like all of my big cases. And just have that in the background, and then just with some like accent lighting up different areas of the box. I think that'll look all right. And I think I'm going to change the room around a bit. But hopefully at some point I'll get it. External video card. I remember that those like were a thing for a little bit, and Blackmagic actually got involved with creating one, but I didn't know if that like continued. Is that still like a common practice? Okay, so you did get one of the Alienwares, because it's crazy. If you buy an Alienware, just the normal price of the Alienware with all the other stuff that you get with it is like the price of like a 3080 on eBay. It's ridiculous. It makes no sense to me at all. $10.50, 2 gigs of memory. That's a little rough. I mean, you could still definitely do like normal edits, but Fusion effects and stuff would be a little rough. I have lots of tutorials on text effects. You just have to look at the channel or the website. There's tons of videos. All right, so this kind of turned out kind of interesting. I just don't know what I would do with it. What could I do with this? I feel like this is like, this could be something interesting. All right, and that's based off of the brightness and everything in this one, right? So, let's see here. The more I add, the crazier this gets. Okay. So, do we have absolute black here? No, we don't. So, we need to make something that is like an absolute, right? Can I make this more? I sure can. Okay. All right. And then we're going to clip them. So, we're not doing any crazy numbers. So, it's repeatable. All right. So what I could actually do is take this and do an animation curve, and take this and do an animation curve, and then base them both off of duration. And I have to think about this here for a second. So the X, we want to go like, what would be like -1? Oh, what the hell? Alrighty then. So that's a thing. That might be a little too much. But, so we'll do that, right? And then we could also make this a custom curve where at the beginning it's kind of elastic. What the fuck? Okay, that is not what I was expecting. What does back do? All right, let's just do 1 for now, so I can tell what is going on. And then I feel like the further this goes, oh man, then I have this all connected to, oh, not that. I have this here. So let's see what I have created to this point, because I feel like this is getting kind of, okay, that looks horrible. I can't even tell what the hell I'm looking at. I mean, it looks kind of cool, right? Because it's like, ooh, I think I have an idea here. So instead of this, right, it'll, it will go to 0, but then we can have an offset of like 5. So it'll start off all screwed up and then it'll come back to look normal. Should. No. We have to go negative. Or we have an offset of negative 0.5. I'll get there eventually. 5. So then we'll have it it'll finish normal. Okay, there is like way too much of like waiting. The whole animation is like today. That is some weird looking stuff. Like, what does it look like? I think it looks better without all that other crap. I think we'll be keeping it like that. Alrighty then. I don't know about Trails Node. Trails Node takes up a lot of resources. It's alright if you're working on your own project, but if I turn these into like tools that everyone will use, if you don't have, you know, capable equipment, you will have a bad day with that. That's for sure. But I think I'm liking how this is like revealing itself, and mainly like this right here. I think that this looks really cool. Like it's like warping around, coming right back into its position. I think that that looks pretty cool. The only thing, all right, so I like using time stretch for sure. I definitely like using it for like something static like this where you can't see frames. But the issue with time stretch is you're time stretching the image and you're not time stretching the animation. And what that ends up doing is, so like, let's say, have you ever seen like someone that has like an animated logo, right? Like, let's say they have, I don't know, an ice cream cone or a barber shop, like that thing that like spins, right? So like, let's say someone has that as their logo. You could have a really cool animation with like all the effects and stuff, but because it's doing the time stretch to the image and not the animation, that's gonna look like real stuttery. You know what I mean? It's not gonna have its fluent movement because you want the video that's getting pumped through all of those effects to be smooth and normal, but you want the effect itself and how it's, you know, messing everything up. I don't know. That's like one thing that I noticed. I made like a whole thing for someone, and then they threw on their animation of their logo that had an animation, and it was looking at it, I was like, oh, that makes it look bad. So what you kind of have to do in a situation like that is you have to do clever math on your input values, right? Based off of time. So time is always going to be consistent with everything, right? So you have to base it off time, but you have to do it to the actual value. But this is like super simple. It's super like organic looking. I think that this will definitely be in something that I ship for sure. because it's like almost no nodes. It's right here. It's three nodes, right? So they pump in like a text or image, right? And then it's just three nodes to get that whole effect. And I think that that looks pretty dope. And I can add in, you know, loads and loads of the texture in the background. And if I really wanted to, I could take this too and maybe do something with, ooh, no. Let's have this over here again, but stop that move, pump that into here. That looks like it's doing absolutely nothing. Okay, that's not gonna work exactly how I want it to, but it's worth the One other thing that I could do is leave everything the way it is, copy this, and reuse that. Oops, just connect it up how it was. And then on here, we would put a delay. Well, we could actually, instead of doing that, actually, time offset. Haven't really used this before. Let's have it offset by 2 frames. Let's see how that looks. And we will pump in a different color. All right. So now we'll connect them and see what that looks like. Okay, we have one not moving at all. Why is this not moving at all? What is this supposed to represent? What is this supposed to represent? Time offset. I would think that it would just be 2 frames. What? 1. Is this whole thing counted as time as 1? That's a great question. Let's go find out. Come on. There we are. All right. Yep. What does time mean? Time. Zoom. Oh, geez. All right. That looks kind of cool. And that is significantly lighter than using time stretch, because you could do like a time stretch delay. But that is significantly faster, even though you're regenerating it. You're just not storing the frames in memory, which I think would turn out a bit better. All right. So you start out with one color, and then you just have this secondary color. Okay. That kind of works. And then I have this whole thing. I don't know about all that. So that's only one direction. Would it look any different if I added in like all right, so we do this and we go animation curve. Whoa, 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 whoa. What happened there? Animation curve, yeah. Okay. Ooh, I think I went the wrong way. There we are. What's bounce look like? Okay, bounce is trash. We'll just do a normal sine wave. And then in here, we actually don't need to copy that at all, because what we can do is we can right click, connect to, and what is this, X? Connect to animation, oh geez, I have too many of these, animation value, and then here, connect to value. Now they should copy each other. Oh, they do copy each other. But we need, oh, we can't do that because we need that delay. All right. Yeah, we don't want that. Now I need to copy everything in here. So this is 0.5 and negative 0.5. And when I change this to like a 1 or something. And that, all right. We'll get there. I need to change this music up because I'm about to fall asleep listening to it though. Alright, and then switch this up. This was sine. I feel like I have the right thing in here. Maybe that was supposed to be negative and this was supposed to be a positive. Make this a 0.1. I don't know how I feel about it going down that far. Hello. Oh, it goes pretty far off the screen too. Not sure how I feel about that. Maybe it's a little too far. So let's maybe back these values up a little bit. What if we just put a 0 in here? Maybe a 1? Something of that nature. And then if you ever want to, what is this doing? What is that then doing? What is that then doing? No, I don't want that at all. Actually, this can go in here because it'd just be a background, right? And then we go like that. And then we can change the size. We don't need more nodes. Oh, geez. It's a lot of texture. Ooh, why is it like not... Takes the whole freaking thing to like... Alright, that might be a little too much. Oh, something. Yeah. Trying. Now, the more and more I'm looking at it with that thing, I'm like, I don't know how I feel about it. We'll go back to... Something like that might work. Alright, let's clean this up a bit. Been prototyping a lot of things and I'm getting it kind of messy. Why isn't that in there? There we are. Now, what is all this chaos over here? Oh yeah, the dots. What we could do is we could have this do like a crazy glow thing-ish. But we could have it based off of this. So we only have little areas, but then we take this like that and we increase the, or do something. Oh, we're going the wrong, no, we were going the right way. Yeah, contrast, that's what I want, haha. So it'll be like little areas that'll have that. And then we can turn this C rate up. So it's moving. Okay, it's not moving enough. What does that do? Is it moving? 1. Okay, that's too much. 0.1. Alright, let's get rid of all this animation stuff. That was the other one. Alright, and this glow's too big. Glow size down, maybe? So it looks like they're kind of dancing, and we could do 2 different colors of the dots, maybe. Thank you. And maybe make this a little harsher. So it's kind of like soft right now. So how would we make it harsher? Detail? Detail makes it harsher. 10. All right, but then what we have to do is, because it's solid here, right? And here it obviously isn't solid. Why are we getting a black background? I have to figure that out too. What is this? There's why? Okay. All right, we kind of needed a black background for the preview for now, but don't want the animation to have a black background. All right. So now, I don't want to like ruin this. I'm just going to take the top half because we don't want the, I don't know, we got to do something here. So let's bring this down a bit. And actually, I might need to bring this up here. We're actually going to group this for, ooh, I can't. Okay, we're gonna ungroup because I can't like easily add into here. What are we doing over here that I have this? All right, we don't need that. All right. All right, so something along these lines, but not. So we'll stop. Actually, I think someone said it before, using blur kind of soften some of these edges a bit. Maybe that will work. Actually, I want to add the blur on. How would we do that? I want to add the blur on, but not have it blur, if that makes sense. Like I want it to blur, but not blur. So now if we took this into here, we could then do something like that, but we're losing the color. He's creating a node monster. The other, if you want to, all right, so you actually wouldn't make, this is going to be even better than a LUT. You don't want to make a LUT. Hold on, let me grab some footage quick and I'll quickly show you. This is what you would actually want to do. Because if you are editing footage, sometimes you shoot a piece of footage dark, sometimes you shoot a piece of footage light, and depending on how a LUT is made, you can drastically affect the how many stops like a piece of footage has. You're like, you kind of can damage it, right? And it's kind of like one of those irreversible damages, because a LUT is just going to take a value and map it to another value, right? So the latitude from whatever that new value, anyway, I could lose people really quick explaining that, but it can potentially be bad. This is built-in DaVinci Resolve, and it's super, super simple. So let's say you go in and you make a color grade. So this is my color grade, right? One cool thing with DaVinci, I mean, we make a bunch of nodes, yeah, whatever, right? And we get this wild color grade. What you can do is you can right click on here and you can go grab still. And what that's going to do is it's going to bring it over here into your stills area. So then when you have another clip, you can click on that other clip and you can grab that still. And then let's say you have to tweak something, you can go into all of your nodes and tweak it, right? Then, so that the stills library is going to be specifically on that particular project. What you can then do is you can come over to your power grades and you can take this still and put it into your power grades. The power grade folder is going to be for your whole database. Now you're talking about adjustment clips. There's something that's even better than using adjustment clips to do color stuff, but I could be skipping around and not seeing exactly what you guys are saying. But what you can do is you can do a couple different things. One, you can take a group of footage, so like a scene or a particular camera, and you can group those and color grade to those specifically. Or what you can do is you can come up here, this says clip, and you can click between different specific clips. If you make a group, it'll say like the group here as well. Or you can do a timeline. So if I did timeline, and let's say we came in and we started adding a color grade on all of this, right? It's going to add that color grade onto all of the clips, right? So if all of your clips are identical, right? So if I go into back over into this clip and we just, you know, reset it here, all of these clips are going to have that same color grade, right? That's in the timeline color grade. So I could go in and I could, you know, drastically change this, and all of my clips will now have that color grade. So there's some stuff. I like to use power grades over LUTs just because you have the ability to go in, and when you apply them, to go in and go into each node that you have and slightly adjust those if you have, you know, you shot it in the shadows and you need to, you know, pull some stuff up a little bit and vice versa without destroying any latitude in your dynamic range. So that's my recommendation. You can still export LUTs, because like some things that you can do, like depending on your camera, you can push a LUT into your camera and you can see like what that looks like. I don't really understand what an adjustment adjustment clip would do, but I don't know, that's me. Because I would just edit specific clips. If I have a bunch of clips that all look the same, like let's say you're sitting down and you have like an interview where it's two different cameras, you could group all of the shots from the one camera, color grade one clip. Since the camera never moves, no settings ever change, you have that one. Go to the other group, color grade that, then you color grade it two clips, but then the whole group has that grade. But yeah, there's a million different ways to do just about everything in DaVinci Resolve, and it's kind of figuring out what workflow works for you, and yeah, just kind of rolling with that. But I wanted to at least offer you that information if you've never heard of power grades. And then if you really want to, you can look up power grades, and then you can get like a good starting point for power grades from other people. Just how people buy LUTs, you can buy power grades, and instead of just having a locked off, you know, grade, you could go into the power grade and change things. I have one on my website. But yeah, so that was an option. All right, so where was I with this? I remember I was doing this, but I was like, I can't really... All right, we were kind of blurring it, right? Yeah. right, I don't really know where I was with that and where to proceed from that, I guess is the best way to put that. Yep. I always thought it was funny when people put a lot of attention into getting cameras with high dynamic range, and then the first thing they do is just slap a random LUT on it that was meant for a completely different type of footage. But just my 2 cents on that one. Alright, so what can I do with this? Is this actually doing an animation right now? No, it's not. This is what I have as the thing, right? Alright, so let's throw in a different texture. What kind of textures do I have in this project so far? What is that? That's dots. Maybe I have some in here. What is this? This is boxes. Excuse me. Maybe I can... What would this do? Okay, so what I would actually do with this is we could use this, but what I need to do is switch this up. So we go like that, and we can bring the size down and make it more complicated. There we go. Look at that. It's looking much better. Okay. So then our little thing that we have so far, you can't tell what you're looking at there. And then as this comes back, then you get what, you know, you can see what you're looking at. So let's make this really complicated. Okay, I gotta do something else with this music. Maybe just next? No. Recommendations aren't working for me. All right. Oh, I got an even better idea. So instead of doing that, what we can do is we can change this and we can go wide. Okay, that's not what I wanted. All right, so we'll come out of all right, so do another bitmap, and then this is going to change the strength of how that one works, right? This is getting real complicated real quick. All right, we'll watch that, and we're going to scale this down a little bit. Maybe this gets connected up here? No, definitely not. Actually, let's turn this to like that. Nope. What if we were to have this expression -1. Oh, no. 1 minus. No. What am I doing here? There we are. So both go the opposite way, right? I think that's right. Bob Ross. I'm not really explaining, I guess. It's the only difference. For a while, Bob Ross was actually on, well, not him himself. I think he passed away a long time ago, but his videos were on Twitch for a while. Okay. But I appreciate it. All right, so maybe make this a little more chaotic. Okay, maybe not that much. Ooh, maybe if I change this to like 0.12, that would constantly be like changing, right? So that's constantly changing. And then we have this sort of change too. So let's just take that number and we'll go animation curve duration, and we'll have it finished there. No, we will have it go negative that much, and we'll have it start here, right? So by the time we get to the end, we should be back to normal. But then what if we took something like this and inverted it? All right, so now we have all of that just to put little lights on. And then we could go back to what we were doing here, and this is like, no, that's not the right thing. Somewhere over here. Was it this? Yeah. So we could have it start at, let's have it start at 4. Doesn't matter what frame it goes to, 0.5. And then we'll come into here, and we will have this as an animation curve duration. Boom. Okay, so now this isn't moving enough. But how would we have this move? Ooh, we'll have it go in the opposite direction. So we'll have a keyframe there, and a keyframe there, and make this one 0.4. Sure. Is this going the right direction? Okay, it sure is. But instead of this, reset that. Boom. Duration. I don't know if I can tell what the heck is going on here. And the other thing that we could do is we could take a look at this and go like this. What if we go the other way? Okay, that's kind of working, but I want this to be a little, by the time we get to the end, can we tell what the heck we're looking at? Alright, I don't really like that. And then this glow.
Make a difference instead of being the people incarcerated in prisons. I never got caught for dealing a hole in a stolen pistol. So this one goes out to Warren, my granted justice and crystal. Hold up, if you ain't careful with your stuff. Get your soul in line, chasing after checks. If you ain't inclined to say what's on your mind, please don't throw your stones at me for speaking what's on mine. Man, I still don't feel that comfy in my own skin. It's hard to find your self-worth as a broken kid. These frames never held images of my own kin. That's why rap sheet the only place we fit it in. Yeah, you can go to court, or you go on that court. You do 9 to 5, or you go play a sport. Can't represent the house if you out on that field. If you forget your place, you might turn to Emmett Till. Watch them legislate to execute my brothers that they kill. Got me talking about my problems as a way for me to heal. I went looking for a Beverly when I went to the hills, but I came back with a diamond and a couple dollar bills.
I can't tell what's going on.
Oh yeah, don't you see we in despair? Got crime everywhere, dark clouds in the air. If you don't know the game,
And then what do you do to...
I remember being so naive. Back when life was compared to good weather and palm trees. Back in those days, you were everything that I thought that I needed. But then along came a time you crushed my dreams. You really played me for a fool when you made me believe that the line between love wasn't taken
Oh, no, 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 no. So I think if I connect that over like that, then I can go from one to the other. Don't know how much I like that. Because I think it's going to look kind of bad.
I wonder, is it worth living now? They told me dreams come true once you live it out. I picked up pieces from my childhood in a broken house and healed my soul from the trauma.
There's like so much going on here and you can't really see any of it because of that texture. I don't know. Maybe I'll come back to that at a later point. I feel like the only one that I built so far that I like is this one. So I don't remember what this one is. Oh, I didn't like this one. I need to add something else into that. And then I have this. It's just the super basic. Oh well. Ugh. Classic show to watch at 4 a.m. 4 a.m. Jeez. You're on the other side of the world. It's only 4 p.m. here. But with that being said, I've been at this for 2 hours. So I will definitely be streaming again sometime this week. Not entirely sure which day, but thanks for everyone joining. I am going to get out of here though. If anyone has any last minute questions about this project or anything else, they're more than welcome to ask. But yeah, I think I'm going to get out of here. Oh, 1 p.m. Okay. All right. Well, hopefully I can come up with some other ideas for stuff that's a little lighter, because especially like these two, they're just really heavy in like for blurring. They can be heavy on some systems, so I try to stay away from this kind of stuff. I just wanted to see if I could come up with anything that would kind of work. Is there a quick way to insert black space between clips? Black space? Like a generator? You could add a generator in. Or just make space. Rather than dragging the whole timeline. What's your hourly rate for work? I don't really have like a I don't know. I would need to know like what's all involved. I don't really do that kind of thing that often, so it would really depend if I'm like sitting here like not having to think and I can get stuff done versus like having to come up with some ideas before I actually start working. But just shoot me an email on my website. And okay, I can't write my website out. I just wrote my name. There. How did I learn Fusion so well? Just trial and error, one, but I came from using After Effects, and a lot of things are very similar in how they both work. It's just, you first have to wrap your head around the difference between the two. Like, obviously, one's layer-based and the other one's nodes. And then they have very similar tools. They're just named differently, and they have like some different inputs for one to the other. So it just took me a little bit of time just playing around until I could figure it out. But I think that is going to be it for me. Which is better? They both have pros and cons. One thing that I have an issue with, or I don't really want to call it an issue. One thing that I don't like about Fusion is you can't easily prototype different text effects by calling specific letters, if that makes sense. Because After Effects has like their whole like JavaScript stuff, and you can call like specific characters to do specific things. And in Fusion, you kind of can't. It's all just kind of looked at as one thing, unless you get into like Python. One thing that's easier to do in Fusion than in After Effects, reusing same information. So that's where nodes like come in that are so powerful. So if I was to show you here, so I was just using this one text, right? And from that, I was pulling information into different things that I was prototyping, right? So I was like pulling it over here and like using it over here. And then there was like, there's nothing here specific that I can show. So it's just reusing data is, I guess, the best way to put it. So I like use the text effect here at the beginning, right? To first chop it up. And then I use that same text effect, like, and this is visually just connecting from one to the other, connecting it over here, and then using it over here to then chop it up however I was using it to just switch from one to the other. So I feel like that makes things significantly easier. Just simply change the way something visually looks in one area, and then just drag that information and use it in a different area. I think like that makes things super simple in Fusion. But yeah. Oh, so inserting clips, sorry. So like, let's say, okay, so we have these clips here. Oops. We have these clips here, right? And you're like wanting to make space here. So like, let's say we take this clip and we want to use this, and we, create our in and out points. And then you come right here, right? Boop. And it adds it in, and it doesn't remove the, it doesn't like mess anything up. It just slides everything down. Do you think the assets need to get better on Resolve? Like sorting out stuff, because I feel that right now. I don't know what you mean by assets, because there's a lot of different things that you can do. Because you have power bins, you have smart bins, and like then you have like bins that can depending on a color or a flag, like if you have a bin, a certain color, like you can come over here and you can create bins, right? And then you can turn the bin into a color, right? And then from that, you could add things into that, like with the smart bins and stuff. Titles and stuff. Oh, so like down here, all of this stuff. This could use, like to be able to add some like stuff in. This could definitely use a bit of help. I personally just search stuff. I don't know why they don't import what they already have over here in the effects library in Fusion, because we have like all of these drop downs, right? And if you look in here in the Fusion stuff that like I have like specific folders that have like specific stuff, and they all have something a little bit different in it. So like this is like a call out pack that I have, right? And we have like all the call outs, and then we have the custom call outs that are in like a custom folder. So like this is a easily like creatable, like making different folders and stuff. Why that isn't on the edit page yet, I have no idea. But yeah, this whole area could use a bit of help. And the funny part about it is all of like my new stuff, it's kind of hard to show you in here. There'd be the perfect way. If we go into, yep, we can see that this is in a folder of a folder, right? So it says that it's in the Transitions Pro 1.1, and then it says the name of the transition. So this is already set up for like a folder structure, right? Because it already has like the slash and all. And that's not something that I put in. It's something that they pulled from the way in which that the pack's made, the folders in the pack. But like, yeah, this could definitely use some help, because I actually had to delete a lot of my stuff because there was just so much in here. And the same way with the titles, like you end up having like a ton of freaking stuff in here. I don't know. But yeah, I agree with you on that. No. But yeah, on that one, thanks for hanging out. I'm out of here. Ames JR, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys hopefully later this week. Peace.